In the next few videos, we'll be discussing about the different blocks you have to the left side of your canvas. This video is going to be specifically about the text block, so let's get started by dragging one and placing it on the canvas. We have now added the text block to the start skill. I'll get started by adding some text in the text block. To do that, I'll click here, and in the sidebar which appears, I'll add my message. I'll say hello world. Once I have entered this message, I'll click outside. This message should be updated here. These changes are automatically saved once in a while. As you can see, a small pop-up will appear here which says saved. Now I'll test this bot out. I'll click run. After I get this message that agent has been built, I'll click here to test on Facebook. So this button will only be available if you have connected the Facebook Messenger to your bot. I'll click here and I'll click get started. So by clicking get started, this skill should be triggered. So nothing happens. I'll manually trigger this skill by adding a front slash and by typing in the skill name, that is start. So this is something I'll type and I'll send in here in the messenger. So once this message is received, an event will be triggered which will be cached by the cache block here, as it has the same name as mentioned here. So once this is done, all the messages of this skill will be triggered. But as you can see, this hello world message is not yet shown here. So there is something wrong. So what's missing is the connection of this catch block to the text skill which we added here. I'll do that by dragging an arrow and placing it here. Now I'll hit run again. Now once this has run, I'll try the same again by putting in / start. And now this message should be shown here. If it's still not shown, try running it again and sending in the message again. As you can see, this message was shown. So sometimes it takes a bit of time to run. So ensure that you run a few times before you test it, or just run it, wait for some time and then test it. So now each and every of these blocks have a few configurable parameters. This is the first thing which you will see. You can change it from 0 to 5 or you can just set it to auto. So this is the typing speed or the typing delay. For example, if I set it to 1, okay, I'll wait for it to save. I'll hit run. I'll ensure that it is 1. So now once it has run, I'll trigger this start event by using the / skill name. So this is that typing message appeared for 1 second and then this message was sent. If I set the typing delay to 5, click outside, wait for it to save, hit run, and once it has properly run, I'll test it on Facebook again by triggering the start skill. You can see the typing symbol for 5 seconds, before which the hello world message appears. So I think it's basically the best practice to just leave this as auto and let ActiveChat decide the kind of time it needs to wait before this message is sent. I'll hit run. Okay. And once this has run, I'll again trigger the start skill. And this message will automatically be shown after some automatic delay. Okay. So now in the text skill, we have a few more additional parameters. This is obviously the text which will be sent here. And if you click this plus, you'll have 4 more options. I'll just add all of these to show you what all of them are at once. Facebook only allows for 3 buttons. So I'll remove this and show you what each and every of this button is. So this is the button title and this is the event name. So for this, I'll add button 1. I'll name it as button 1. I'll name this button 2. And I'll name this button 3. So this first button is an event send. So an event send is basically like if you want the start skill to link to another skill which you will create, like new skill. I'll click save to create the skill, and I'll add another text block, and I'll type here you are in the new skill. Okay, so remove this extra n. I'll click outside. So now we have another skill which is named new skill. So if I want the user to go from the start skill to the new skill, when this button is pressed, I'll type in this skill of the name of this skill, that is new skill, here. So that's it. When this button is pressed, the user will be sent to this skill from here. So this button 2, I have this name, but it doesn't ask for any other thing. So this is actually set from this section. So I'll drag an arrow. I'll first add a text block. I'll drag an arrow and I'll say output of button 2. Wait for it to save, and this is the last configurable button which expects a link. So I'll just put in an ActiveChat link here. Okay, I'll hit run now to test all these 3 buttons at once. So in the messenger, you'll again be triggering this skill by typing in / skill name, which is / start. And you should see a text block with these 3 buttons. So this is taking more time because you have set it to auto, and as ActiveChat thinks there are more number of elements in this text block, it will take more time to show up. I don't think this is working properly, so I'll reload it. And I'll run start again. Okay, so now as you can see, this piece of text and these 3 buttons are shown. So let's get started. This button 1 should load the new skill. So when the button 1 is pressed, this start skill should go to new skill and the text which is here should be shown. So let's do that. As you can see, you are in the new skill. So the start skill was successfully transported or teleported to the new skill with this button 1. So now to test out button 2, which is basically branched out to this text which says output of button 2, let's do that. So you can see this, by clicking button 2, this piece of text was shown, and this button 3 is basically a link which takes to an external page which you link, which is also successful. Now let's remove one of these buttons and add in a phone block. So this block is something you can call it like phone number, and you can add in the phone number with your country code and hit run. So once the start skill is triggered, these 3 buttons should show up along with this piece of text, and the last one would be the phone number. So this is basically a button which users can press in their phones, and the dialer skin will automatically be populated with this number and they can easily call you. But however, it won't work on PCs as such unless you have some app like Skype installed which can call you. So that's all about the text block. We'll be discussing about the other blocks in the next few videos. This is Akash Lal signing off. Stay tuned for more such videos by Chatbot Part.